Brad was obviously up here yesterday, but that was before they. That was how long ago was that, Brad? Yes, it was. But Brad, obviously, got a fast race car. You told us yesterday that this was going to be a track that your team circled. So just talk about, you've had about a 50-minute practice session this morning. Going to try to get back out there for hopefully another 90 minutes. Talk about your car, how it's handling, and your mindset.
Yeah, well, first off, second in both races with the Xfinity and Cup car. Felt like we had a shot at the pole in both races and didn't get to qualify. So a little bummed about that, but, happy with the speed that we've shown so far. The Cup car is really, really good. Looks like the 18 car is pretty good too. So a little bit more practice to get it a little bit closer. We still have a lot we can work on, and still just kind of getting a handle on the different tire that Goodyear has this year compared to last, and the different aero package that everyone's been speaking of all week for this specific track. So so far I think we're off to a good start. Of course, that's a little self-serving because we're fast, but looking forward to finding out fully when we get to race time.
Let's take two questions. Two questions, Stan, and then we'll finish with Lee. And if you need Brad, maybe off to the side here because we do have Chase Elliott right here, right now. Go ahead.
Stan Creekmore with RPMtonight.com, Brad. Given the weather and everything and the rule changes and the whole 9 yards, how much more important does it make tonight's race in what you might possibly learn?
Yeah, usually when we come here to Kentucky, all three series run every year, but by the time the Cup cars get to the track, the Xfinity cars and the trucks have put down a fair amount of rubber, and the track is really in what I would call race condition before we even start. That hasn't been the case so far because the rain has washed the rubber away. So the cars right now aren't handling necessarily the way they're going to handle in race conditions. So the more time we can get, the better, to try and get as close as we can to race conditions as the track continues to take rubber, but then the rain continues to wash it off. So it's been just kind of this seesaw battle, which I'm sure you guys are all aware of. You're going through the same thing. But the more track time you can get, the more or the greater understanding you can have of what it's going to take to win come tomorrow.
Take one more question. Lee?
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. You said you're happy with the car, but for us that aren't behind the wheel with the low downforce package, first of all, can you explain a little bit what the sensation is? From the quotes that we've seen early on, it said, guys are sideways, feel, loose. The other thing is this new package was supposed to decrease the corner speeds. A lot of your fellow competitors have complained about how fast these cars are going into the corner. Did that sensation decrease at all? And what are your overall expectations once you do get into traffic?
So it's kind of a three-parter. All right. You only got two questions, so yes, it's okay, Lee. Okay. First off, how to explain the difference in how the car handles. The car has less grip. And, the easiest way to explain that to someone, if you're from somewhere it snows, it's a difference between driving on great conditions and driving with a little bit of snow on the road. You have to be more cognizant. If you get into a slide, it's going to take longer to recover, and it takes more skill in those situations than it does car performance, more driver skill. And I think that's why the drivers have been fighting so hard for a package of this type, because we're of the opinion that we would like to dictate the winners and losers of the race based on driver talent and not perhaps some of the peripheral items that come into play in a race. So this package is definitely leaning towards having that possibility. Certainly the car's performance will always play a role in who wins and who loses a race, but it feels slightly less significant, which I think is a good thing in general. I want to be able to look a fan in the eye after a race that I've one and tell them, I had a great car, but I drove a great race too. And to do that, the driver has to play a role, and this is an increased role for the driver. So that's very good in my opinion, and I'm very happy with it. Certainly the car's a little harder to drive. It's a race car. It should be hard to drive. It shouldn't be just point and play. This isn't a video game, and nor should it be. So I'm very happy with the package and what I've seen so far. So that's answer one. What was the second and third? Corner speed. It feels a little slower to me. It'll feel a lot faster if something happens, but I think it might be a little bit too early to give a great answer with the track not being fully conditioned and not being in race mode as it pertains to traffic and so forth. But my guess is that it will be, at the very least, a decrease in speed, if not a significant decrease come race time from what we've seen here in years past.
Thank you,
No
Brad.
problem.
Appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys.